There's so many options, so which one should you focus on? We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we have TikTok, Clubhouse. Did we even mention that one? YouTube. I mean, there are so many options out there. Of course, it's complicated to know which one to focus on, which one to grow on, because if you're trying to do everything, then you know you're basically doing nothing. That's why it's so important to pick one, concentrate, really put your foot down on that one, grow, and then later on, if you want, branch out to the other option. So are you ready to dive in? Let's go ahead. Okay, shout out to the wind outside because of course we are in Florida. It's like storm season. If you know how Florida is like, I wish I could show you how the palms outside are moving outside my window, but that you hear is actually the wind. So shout out to the wind if you guys can hear it. Anyways, let's start off by dividing these different platforms into the content type, right? So what type of content do they use? You guys know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, that I really make an emphasis on, look, everybody has their own content type that they like producing, or maybe that in the future you'll like producing, and then the content type that you personally consume. So let me let you in on this little secret of mine. I personally, I consume more podcasts than YouTube, right? But I know that's not the case for everyone. Actually, I asked you guys recently in a poll here and on my Instagram stories, guys, what do you consume the most? And super interesting, most of my audience consumes YouTube more than a podcast. However, I consume podcasts more than YouTube, right? It's different, and it's like that for everyone out there. Everyone consumes in a different way. So let's start dividing the platforms. So let's start off with text. If we're talking about text, the platforms that really thrive with text, obviously Twitter and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform where you can do full-on blogs, articles, and most of the content is moved by text. So that's one really good option if you're into text. Now we go into designing, visual aspects, okay? I always say that there's 4 types of content. We're about to touch on each one of them. So the visual aspect where people can really see that, we would add Pinterest, which I didn't mention at the top, but Pinterest would also be on there. We would also add Instagram because remember, Instagram isn't just about photos, but there are a lot of artists that can show their visual work there. And you know, Facebook could even be thrown in there too, but it's not really the principal aspect, but it could be used for a visual aspect. Then we move on to audio, which would basically be Clubhouse and any new additions that they're adding on. And last but not least, video. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, hello, thriving. Why? We already knew video was going to be a trend that was rising, and that's what you can see now. Videos that are short, videos that are long, there's still an audience for long form of videos because people are looking to consume, to learn, and to put into action. That's why it's basically here to stay. So there we have the different social media applications divided by each style of content. And if you ask me, if I had to pick a winner based on only the style of content, you know, if you've already been inside the content workshop, and if you haven't, it's completely free. So go ahead and take a look at it. The link is down below. But my favorite would have to be this right here, YouTube. Why? Because you can do so much from one video. So if there's one thing you should focus on, and if your decision is based on the content style, well, let it be the style that you can get the most out of. Can you get a video from one snippet of text? No, you can't. Can you get audio from one design? You really can't. Can you get a video, little clip from audio? No. Can you get text from a video? Yes. Can you get a design from a video? Yes, you can literally design the exact thing that I just mentioned, the 4 different pillars, you can design that. Can you get audio from a video? Of course, I can literally, boom, turn off the camera right now. There you have the audio. And can you make the video into smaller little snippets? Yeah, you definitely can. So there you can automatically see If we're talking about what style, what type of content is going to be the one that gives us the most return on our investment of time, well, there you have one answer. But now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the other type of sections that you can divide it off of. For example, content reach. Of course, we wanna make sure that we're increasing the reach, that if we are spending time creating content, we're getting the most out of it. And that is how you should decide what platform to focus on. So let's jump into that. Okay, look, let's be real. There was a time when Facebook had the most reach. It was the platform which everyone was on. Do you remember those days and those MySpace days, right? I was the one that literally spent hours and hours and hours customizing my feed, making it super weird. Like if I have any knowledge on coding, thanks to MySpace, literally. So there was a time where Facebook was that one that literally, it was a tiger pulling the force, okay? Now it's not Facebook anymore. Actually, it's far from Facebook. There's one platform that really isn't giving you the reach that your content deserves. It's Facebook, unless you're putting ads into that content. Right now, as of today, what is thriving? TikTok is thriving. There was a time where Clubhouse was really on a spike. In my honest opinion, right now it's died down. It's not the platform where I would say, hey, focus on that. You're gonna get a lot of benefits and result from it. I honestly don't think so. And right now, YouTube, if you look at the trend, it hasn't died down. There was a large boom at the beginning. There was a time where it was like, okay, who's creating on it, right? It was a certain type of creators. Now, you're on YouTube, you can find anything from how to tie a tie to literally how to become the world's best lawyer. I mean, there's anything and everything on this platform. So giving you the most amount of reach, yeah. And if you're thinking, Laura, but what about Instagram? Well, right now Instagram is at a moment where yes, you should be using it, but I'm gonna jump into that in just a minute as why and how you should be using it. But if we're thinking about reach, okay, what is giving you free organic reach just for posting? No ads involved, no nothing involved. I would honestly say it's TikTok and YouTube at the moment. But there's more that we should focus on than just the platform's reach, right, Laura? Of course, there definitely is. That's why our next barrier that we're doing is the nature of the platform. So each platform is made and has really a different mission at its core. So for example, let's talk about Twitter. Twitter has been active for years and years, and it's something where so many people are still active and still consuming it and still interacting through it. But it's brought out to the market for something in specific. It's to connect you. It's to chat with other people that you look up to. It's to make that conversation thread that Twitter is known for, right? So can you expect the same thing from Twitter than from YouTube or TikTok? No, not at all. Let's compare TikTok now, right? TikTok is a completely different powerhouse. What's the nature, the core of TikTok? Short, fun, inspiring, different, creative. It's completely different. And that's where you have to think about, okay, who am I? What am I doing on a platform? What am I going to create? What's my goal on this platform? And do I thrive there? I'm not saying that just because you're a lawyer, you wouldn't thrive on TikTok. No, not at all. There are so many creative professionals that are thriving on this fun, different platform because they were able to make a spin on what they do and what they teach. So that's TikTok that you have right there. Something fun, something catchy, something easy going, but yet very different than what Instagram is. And we're about to touch on Instagram, which I know is the favorite of so many of you guys out there watching right now. So Instagram, it's completely different because it's something that allows us to follow along, okay? Think about how we've evolved, how the influencer culture has been shaped by Instagram. We now consume and we now know influencers, creators, artists, celebrities. We follow them, and it literally gave us an opportunity to get to know them so well, right? As long as that person was creating, to literally follow them along through their day. There's some people that literally, if you ask their fans, they know exactly what they're doing because it's people that are always creating and then people that are always consuming. What is that? That's a community building platform. You're connecting. Even though the audience might not know each other, you're connected because you're in that person's world. All right, so that's where we divide these platforms into different missions, different natures. We have community building platforms and we have searchable platforms. Which one would be a searchable platform? That's your Google and that's your YouTube, right? Google isn't a place where you can technically call it a social media, but it is a place where you can create blogs, okay? It's a bit different. We're not gonna jump into that whole pillar over there, but we do have to keep in mind that YouTube works in the same exact way because they are the same parent company. It's just a different type of content, like we mentioned at the beginning. It's a video instead of a text. So those are platforms where people search, right? For example, I have this bug bite on my hand, and the first thing that I did was, hello Google, what can I do for my bug bite? And that's the same exact thing that people can do on YouTube. I can find out, what do I need to cure this bug bite that has literally been on my hand for like over a week now? I don't know what to do with it. So I can search that. That's not something that I can search on Instagram or on TikTok. Like, hello, what can I do for my bug bite, right? But it would be completely different if I was following a doctor and they talked about different types of bug bites and what to do for these bug bites and all those types of things. It's completely different over here. So now back to our main question. When we have so many different platforms, when they all do so many different things, what should we be focusing on, right? What should we be spending our time on? And here is the winning content formula, which I have realized is one that allows you to build a business, to share your passions, to get an income by creating content, to generate clients on automatic. Trust me, because I do it not only for myself, but for other people as well. And this is the winning formula. Drum roll, please. And don't forget that this is also what I explain and I go over in depth, like fully in depth inside my free content workshop. Now, for the winning content formula, you probably already guessed it because I teased it a little, but it's pairing a searchable platform with a community building platform. You pick the one that you thrive the most on, the one where your audience is mostly located. Let's say if your audience is mostly on LinkedIn rather than on Instagram, then okay, use LinkedIn. Share your content on LinkedIn that you're repurposing from your searchable content, which would be your video, right? Because if we go back all the way to the beginning, what's that one form of content that is going to get us the most benefit for our time spent creating? It's video. And when we went all the way down, it was video right here thriving on YouTube. Then on the other side is where you have a couple of options. Choose between LinkedIn, Instagram, or TikTok. Find out which one you feel the most comfortable with, which one you are better at creating content for, and which one is your audience on. Focus on that one. Pick one and one. And once you have that strategy down, then you add on more to the mix, not by creating new content, but by repurposing what you currently have. It's not about creating more, but knowing what to do with what you currently have created. So friends, there you have it. I know this is a question that I get a lot. Laura, what should I focus on? What platform is the best? How do I create that content strategy for these platforms? And that's exactly the topic that I'm about to touch on. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, because I'm also going to pull the curtain and let you in on how to create a strong content strategy for those platforms that you chose. All right, so make sure to stick around here. Don't forget to leave me a comment below. Tell me where you're tuning in from and tell me what social media platforms you chose to focus your strategy on. All right, guys, I'll see you right back here on this same channel, same place next time. Bye-bye.